Hi, APW Rebels. It's Lynn Roan here with my Friday update. Today's Friday, October 30th. Tomorrow's Halloween. I hope everybody enjoys that season with their little ones, getting dressed up and maybe going to safe homes to get some treats. But just having some fun with family and friends is always so important. And those little guys sure love those costumes and to dress up. So have fun with that. A few other things I wanted to talk to you about. We had a great night last night for our Superintendent Community Forum. We had 6 or 7 people in the audience in the auditorium and about 30 people watching on Zoom. So I think that was a pretty good audience. I hope everybody got some good information. I know that I got a lot of good information from you, and we're starting to work on some of the things you suggested last night, and we really appreciate those comments and ideas. One of the things that came up was constantly sending children home who have any sign of COVID. And we're doing that because we have to follow the state guidelines for that. And it says if anyone shows any symptom of COVID, they have to immediately go home and they aren't allowed to come back until they have a negative COVID test or they are out for 10 days. 2 weeks, 2 school weeks. And I was incorrect last night when I said they couldn't stay home for the quarantine period. So please, mark that on in your thoughts that if your student gets home and you don't want them to have a COVID test, they just need to stay out of school for 2 weeks and be fever free so they can return. The other question came about the cost of the COVID tests. And Cheryl Emery checked just this morning with our school-based health clinic, and they do COVID testing. There's no charge for them to do that COVID testing. There might be a small lab fee based on your insurance, but certainly it's not going to be the $50 that somebody said they had to pay last night each time they went to the doctor for a COVID test. So please, if you get a call that you need to pick your child up because they're not feeling well, if they're enrolled in the school-based health center, take them right over. They're here, they're open in our schools, and they'll be happy to do that COVID test for you, and we can get your child back to school even sooner than if you went to your regular physician. When we have announcements or information that we want to get out to you, we're finding the best way to do that rather than a letter to home is just through some social media and through school messenger. So when I put something out or the principals put something out, we usually send it through school messenger. We usually send you an email through school messenger, and we put it on Facebook and our webpage. So 4 different sources. So what's really important, parents, is that we have your correct cell phone number and your correct email address, because you'll get that school messenger through your cell phone or home phone, and it'll let you know that you have an email. So it's really important that we have that correct information for you. So please update your contact information with school if you think it's incorrect. If you haven't been getting those cell phone calls from us, we send quite a few, then we definitely don't have your correct contact information. Last night we also found out some kinks with the Ingenuity system. We knew there were things that students didn't like about it and parents didn't like about it, but we found out even more. And our instructional assistant superintendent, Dr. Reifin, is looking into those, and we're going to fix some of those things that we talked about last night as much as we possibly can. So stay tuned for that. Also, that came up last night is, can we change the bus routes to see if we can get more students on the buses, and maybe parents can drive their students to make more room for students on the buses and in the classrooms. I thought that was a great idea. After the second quarter starts on November 16th, we'll have everybody here who wants to be here, and then I'm going to send out a Google form to you, which is how we communicate and how we ask you your ideas, to see if you can drive your students to school. If you can drive your students to school rather than having them transported, those are 1 or 2 more students that we can get on a bus and get here to school. So look for that towards the end of November, and just keep working with us. And I think these ideas are great, and I'm so happy that we were able to hear them last night. The last thing, which was really a broken record for everybody to hear, was if you have a problem or a question or concern, yes, you can call me. You can call me and I will listen to you, but I will always ask you to call that teacher. So your first phone call really to the teacher of your child who you're having questions or concerns about, give them a call, or an email, because they're the ones who are in that classroom and they know exactly what's happening, and they can give you much better answers than I can. So your first line of defense is that teacher. If you're not happy with that response, then you call the building principal, and then if you're not happy with that response, that's when you contact me. So just a good process, so you get right to the source of the information, and we can get things fixed much more quickly that way. So that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for everything last night and for all your ideas. I look forward to continuing to work with you, this community, and really look forward to a different kind of school year when I can actually meet people at games and at concerts. Um, but right now we have to do what we have to do, and we'll just take care of each other and make sure we get through this together. Take it easy.